Okay, welcome back. Welcome back to the Game Stack Theater. We are going to spend some time talking about live events now. So, live events, where the fun never stops. So this is basically anything in your game that happens temporarily. So any kind of content that is happening in your game, either repeatedly or one-off, that is temporary and not part of the core experience, that's what we talk about when we talk about live events. So why do we want to do live events? Obviously, retention. This is the thing that we love to think about when we think about live events. We think about this idea that if we can get our players to get on the content treadmill and go, 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 then they'll stay longer and longer and longer in the game. We say retention equals all of these wonderful things for us as developers. Players are in there consuming content. That's what we love. That's why we do live events. But this isn't really from the player's perspective. This doesn't really answer the question, why do players want to have live events, right? What's in it for players when we put live events to our game? What is going to make them interested to log back in and engage in the stuff that we have in our game? Well, first of all, one thing that live events can do for our players is provide short-term goals at the end of your game. So a lot of times, once games reach sort of their elder game, they have their goals get stretched out longer and longer and longer. Well, when a player first logs into a game, they might be earning something valuable, every like 5 minutes or every hour. Once we get to the elder game, it takes longer and longer and longer to get to meaningful goals. Live events are a great way to add stuff into your game that lets you have shorter, more achievable goals, even for players who are all the way in the elder part of your game, all the way at the long tail of your progression cycle. Additionally, live events can really help point players to core parts of your game they might not otherwise see. So you might have a game with a lot of different kinds of features or a lot of different kinds of gameplay in it, but your average player isn't engaging with every single one of them all the time. Having live events can help highlight certain types of content and help players discover content they're not seeing that's already in your game, which is a great way to keep your core gameplay fresh as well. Additionally, live events are very important to giving your community a sense of history. So things need to happen for a community to form, right? There needs to be milestones, points along the way that the community members can glom onto to form conversations and opinions around. So doing live events can add these milestones into your game so that something interesting is happening. And it makes it feel like the game is more alive and more real. It can even bleed over into the live events themselves becoming legendary, right? It's been almost 30 years since Lord British was killed inside of Ultima Online, but it's something that the community still remembers and gets referenced all the time, because this is a huge event. It made the game feel like more than just a game. It made the game feel like something that the community was participating in and could reference and talk about. Finally, live events offer you a way to do short-term reward loops. So of course you want your core part of your game to have great intrinsic rewarding values, right? You want to have these really deep, motivating things like earning skill and like meeting new people and gaining more autonomy. But that stuff can take a long time to develop. So live events offer a way for you to just do short, quick loops for rewards that can also feel very valuable to players and give them something really easy to go for. Something that they can say, I'm not really going to get to my next big milestone in the next couple of weeks, but I can log in and do this event, and I'm going to get the reward at the end of the event. And that's going to make me feel like I'm doing something worthwhile and interesting. It's going to keep me going in the game. And that can really help improve satisfaction. So, players, they want all of these things, right? Great core gameplay, community, and rewards. And if we can deliver that to them with live events, then we get the awesome stuff we were talking about that we really want, right? All of that retention. In order to do that, there's a couple of things that we have to do to deliver on those promises and get what we want. The first and most important thing I tell people about running live events is you need to be predictable and you need to be surprising. You need to be both of those things at once in order to execute a really fantastic live event strategy. And that might seem like they're sort of at odds with each other, but really what it's all about is becoming dependable. You want to establish yourself as a part of your players' lives, something that they know they can come back to over and over and over again. Some of these games have done a fantastic job of this. Magic the Gathering is an example I go back to over and over again. No matter where you are on Friday night, you can play Magic. Friday Night Magic is a thing that happens all over the country, all over the world. It happens every single Friday. You know it's going to be there for you. The cards might change, the play style might change, the people you play with might change, but that event is there. It's very, very dependable. But of course, while you want to be dependable, you want to be predictable, you also need to be interesting and surprising. So you need to switch up what's actually happening inside of these events, right? With the new decks, the new kinds of cards, and the Magic example. But it's always going to be there for you, but there's something interesting and new every single time. So reliability is really key, and frequency is often really preferred. Exactly what that frequency is going to depend a lot on what your core gameplay is and what your target audience is. But a lot of games settle around the once a week or once a month strategies. And in order to actually achieve this, I find this kind of like stackable waterfall schedule to really work well. So the idea is having multiple small content teams working on live events, and then having them work in parallel so that you know predictably that every single month, let's say in this case, we're going to drop something and we're going to have great events coming into the game. It also really helps to keep this modular, to focus more actually on the date than on the content itself, to say we know we're always going to ship the third week of the month, and there's always going to be a live event in that release, even if it's not exactly the live event we thought it was going to be. And keep flexible with your teams in case one of them slips. We can rearrange things and say, okay, well, we didn't get everything we wanted into that release, but we're still going to hit that release, so that we maintain that predictability and that dependability that the players are really relying on, so they keep coming back and seeing what you have going on. Building that team, often I like to have them look a lot like just little core content teams, right? Live event teams, I think, are usually designer-led, right? Because we're talking about building content, we're talking about things for the player to engage in, and then you surround them with all of the resources that they need in order to bring that content to life. I really like to keep these teams strongly paired with their community manager. Ideally, we have the community manager actually sitting with this team and working with them every single day, because what's happening with live events is so integral to management of the community, and it's so informed by what the community wants and what the community is interested in. So working very closely with them is key. And then you have the stakeholders, which are whoever your sort of creative vision holders are, and whoever your business holders are there just sort of on the peripheral, looking at what goals the live team is setting out and whether or not they're hitting those goals. The process is a very simple design process. It starts with goal setting, and then a design to try to hit that goal. Then we build, then we run the actual event live. Then we, of course, take time to analyze whether or not the event actually hit our goals, whether or not we actually did the things we set out to do. And then we iterate. And if those teams are continually churning from one event to another, they actually have the opportunity to take what they learned from running one event and bring it into the next one, right? To actually complete that iteration cycle. The two really key parts in this cycle are goal setting and analysis. If you tell a team, I need you to make interesting, surprising content every single week forever, but you don't give them any goals, it's going to be very difficult for them to make stuff that really works for your community. So it's really, really important before you turn that team loose on designing a live event to do goal setting. And it doesn't have to be, every event is going to increase our retention by 300%, or it's going to have this giant increase in spending. It's okay if those goals are pretty simple and they're pretty small, as long as it's something that the team can actually focus on, build towards, and then after they've run the event, analyze for and see if they hit it and iterate to get better and better over time. I know this is a very simple process, but it can be very difficult for teams to actually stay disciplined about this. So you just got to focus on set those goals, analyze whether you hit them. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit just about the kinds of live events there are. There's actually, in a way, there's any number of types of live events depending on the game you have, but they fall into a fairly small number of categories generally that you can sort of use to help figure out what kind of stuff to focus on. So the first one we're going to talk about is a login event. So this is basically any event that's just centered around the idea of if the player logs in, they get a reward. That's the simplest version of it is log in, get something. Ideally, it's a little bit more participation is asked of the player. This is an example of an event from MapleStory where it was like, oh, log in for these couple of weeks and go around and visit every town. And if you get a stamp from every single town, then you're going to get a reward. But it's essentially just, hey, participate. log in, get something cool for spending your time inside of the game. These kind of events work really, really well to increase unique logins and encourage people to remember to like, hey, log in and just check it out. And the more that you put into it in order to ask them to do a little bit more than just logging in and logging back out, the better chance you have of hooking them back into your core gameplay loop while they're there. The next one is the game mode type event. So this is used a lot by competitive games, but it's basically the idea that there is some variation on the normal rules of play that's available for a limited period of time inside of your game. So this example is just from Overwatch, and it's like a variation on their event that's all centered around a snowball fight in the snow level. And this is only available for a short period of time, and so players get a sort of opportunity to engage with it just while it's available, and there might be unique rewards associated with engaging with it. This kind of event is really good for keeping churn down and making some interesting things happening for players even if they're playing all the time, and just keep that role going with the community so there's something interesting happening. One of the best things to remember to do is you want to make it different. It needs to be interesting and not exactly like all the rest of your game modes, but don't make it too different. Definitely had experiences in games where we put in modes that were just wildly different from anything else in the game. Think, oh, we have a first-person shooter, but for this week we have a mode that's an RTS. That might be a bridge too far for your players and can give them the wrong idea about what kind of game they're actually playing. So switch it up, make it interesting, but don't make it too different. The next is a drop event, and this is traditionally something that happens mostly in RPGs, but it actually can be used in almost any type of game. This is something where, for a limited period of time, we change the kinds of rewards that the player is going to get in the game. We don't change really anything else about the game necessarily. There's not necessarily a new mode or new content, but we change the kind of rewards that the player gets for normal activities that they're engaging in every day in the core loop of the game. We call it a drop event, right? Comes from RPGs where the main way of rewarding players is to get drops off of killing enemies or defeating challenges, but it really can be used for almost anything. This kind of event is best to remember to be very generous. The example I'm giving here is actually one of the favorite events I've ever run in my career. It's from MapleStory. In this event, we actually dropped these coupons in the world that when players use them, they were just consumable. They just randomly changed the player's appearance. So it just, every time they used one, they completely got a totally random look, and we dropped them everywhere in the world. It was a lot of fun. The community really loved it. Players were looking all funky and crazy. They had green skin and like spiky hair, and it was something that was really interesting for players and really fun. And if we had been stingy and it only dropped like 1 out of 1,000 times, we wouldn't have gotten that great community feel from it. So it was really a lot of fun. Another good way to do this is to try to monetize the event. These are great opportunities to monetize, to give players either like doublers or something that is sort of a good companion piece to the thing that you're dropping. This is a great place to do that in order to make the event feel like something special that also can encourage spending. And then there's tournaments themselves. So tournaments are obviously a mainstay for competitive games. We see them all the time. But I would definitely recommend for people who have games that are not competitive or not multiplayer to still think about tournaments. Anything that you can measure over a period of time can be turned into a leaderboard, and leaderboards are really compelling for players to look at, even if it's not for something that's like traditionally competitive. This example is from Guild Wars 2. It's the roller beetle race. So in Guild Wars 2, you can actually take one of the mounts, and it's a roller beetle, and they just said, hey, we're going to set up some tracks and do some races, and then whoever gets like the best times, that's the tournament we're running. It's not a core gameplay mode in the game, and it's not really super competitive, but it's still a fun tournament that's interesting and players can get interested in. And then if you do this, you can set up multiple types of leaderboards. You can set up friends-only leaderboards. You can set up location-based leaderboards. All kinds of things for players to measure themselves against others, even for a limited period of time, can be really, really compelling. One thing to keep in mind here is to think about broadening your audience when you're talking about tournament-style events. We often think of them as very competitive, and so it's easy to start saying, well, yeah, we're going to have the international, right? Like, we're going to do something that's just for the most hardcore of hardcore players, and that's can be really fun, and that can be a great community moment, but there's also an opportunity to really broaden your audience for tournaments by just offering, easier modes or, low barrier to entry leaderboards, like just against your friends. Things like that can really help keep things super interesting. And finally, we have goal events. These are great because they're really focused around the community coming together in order to achieve something collectively. So the idea is that a goal event is any kind of goal that's set for the player or the community in a limited period of time to achieve it. Of course, a classic example of this is for Dota 2. They have the compendium. So, in lead up to their big giant tournament, players can all join together to try to meet these goals and get new features unlocked or new skins unlocked and all kinds of wonderful things. And lots of games have used this kind of event to really bring the community together and get them talking. And that can be really great. Be generous again. This is another best practice here. Be generous. Yes, you want to set a goal that's interesting for the players to work towards, but if you make it impossible for them or they don't really achieve anything interesting, then the goal event isn't really going to meet any of your goals as a developer in order to raise your numbers. Also, make sure you actually explicitly ask players to work together. You can do these events on a solo basis. Like, of course, you can do things to say, for a limited amount of time, you personally, single player, need to collect X number of doodads in order to unlock this skill. And that's a pretty fun event, but it gets a lot more interesting when there is some collective element to it. So even if you're mostly focused on the single player goals that you're setting for individuals, it would be nice. Just doing one meta achievement for all of them can really help make these kind of events feed into that shared history for your community. And these are fantastic for increasing session lengths, if that's something that you're really interested in doing for your game. And they're really good for just increasing general engagement from players that are already well integrated into your game. Okay, so that's all I've got for now. It's just some basics about all the different types of live events. If you want to learn more, there's lots of fantastic demos over here. For PlayFab, there's a Designing for LiveOps demo at one of these stations over here that's really great, that you can look at how to set these kinds of things up in PlayFab without having to do builds or unique code in order to run these kinds of events, especially tournaments and leaderboards. There's also a bunch of demos for lots of other things going on here. There's also this guide right here sitting in front of you is our PlayFab Definitive Guide to LiveOps. Check that out. There's a lot of more deep dive information in there about running live events, content management, retention engagement, all the wonderful things that make LiveOps function. And stick around, because I think up next in the theater, we have a little break, and then up next we have the Visual Studio team coming to talk about some really cool stuff. Thanks, guys.